Good morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Bucknuts Morning 5 here on Friday, March 31st, 2023. I am Dave Biddle. I'm very happy to be joined by Jonah Booker for his usual Friday visit as we close out the month of March here. A lot to get into. We're going to finish the show with some quarterback recruiting discussion. We're going to start the show with Ohio State's current quarterbacks. Let's presume, and I don't think this is a massive presumption, Jay Book, that Kyle McCord is the starter this season. What are your
hmm
expectations for him this year if he is the starter?
I expect them to have a big year, Dave. I mean, this is Ohio State. You look at the guys that have come before him; they've all put up tremendous numbers and stats. And Big Ten Player of the Year under Ryan Day. So I expect the same thing from Kyle McCord. I mean, you look at all of the weapons at his disposal. He probably has the deepest running back room in the country. So having a rushing attack shouldn't be an issue. You're probably going to have I would say top five pick in Marvin Harrison, another 1,000-yard wide receiver in Mecca, and then you have a litany of guys right behind him who would easily be the number one or two wide receiver in any other team on the Big Ten, and Xavier, Julian, Jaden, the bevy of incoming freshmen. You got your entire tight end room back. Kye Stover played tremendous last year. So to me, when you have that many weapons at your disposal, Dave, he should light it up. And here's the thing: when you're at Ohio State, you're going to out athlete 90 to 95% of the teams that are on your schedule. Michigan obviously has been a thorn in their side. Penn State is always a tough matchup, but other than that, they're going to have more talent than anybody else that they face.
I'm with you. We talked about it on your spaces earlier this week. I think if McCord wins the job, the expectation is for him to play at a very high level, and I think he will. Will he be as good as CJ Stroud? I'm not going to say that. CJ Stroud's going to be the number one pick in the draft. I'm not going to
Right.
put that on him, but I expect him to play very well, and I'm sure Ryan Day does as well. All right. Who wins the right tackle job? We're wondering who's going to be the starting center. We know that. We know it's going to be Carson Hinsman. Not that they've announced it, but you just know that's the case. Who do you think it's going to be? You think it's going to be Zen Mahalski? You think it's going to be Tegra Shabola?
I think it's going to be Tegra, Dave. Just a gut feeling on my end. Just listening to all of your guys' excellent work in reporting and heading over there, getting comments from the coaches. Also, just venturing around, hearing the Cleveland.com guys with Doug and them, just hearing their kind of reports. And basically, the sentiment has been very similar. Tegra is a huge human being, starting to really come into his own. I just think that his upside is so much higher potentially than Zen, that I think that if you can get that younger guy in there with a much higher upside, if I trust that Justin Fry is going to be able to get him coached up, I just think that he will probably edge it out. Now, with that being said, I could just be completely wrong. It could be a situation where both of those guys are somewhat in the rotation. I do think this battle will go all the way into fall camp, Dave. I don't think this would be settled in spring. This wouldn't be something they would settle in spring. Do you think?
No, I think Justin Fry probably knows right now. Probably knows if I had to guess. I know
hmm
they're only in so tomorrow they're going to have tomorrow's practice. The entire practice is open to the media again. I love that. They're going to have a scrimmage. Half the practice will be open to the students for Student Appreciation Day. So there'll be a scrimmage out there. So my guess is Justin Fry probably knows right now, and Ryan Day, they probably know right now at least who they think will be the starter.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I don't think they're going to announce a starter. I think they're going to keep that competition going into camp.
Because you said it in the spaces earlier this week. Just you're viewing the tackles that Zen was probably going first in the drills, but once it came to like the actual scrimmage and stuff, you saw Tegra getting a lot of the reps with the first team there. So that right there just kind of that's the coaches being wise, just throwing the media off the scent there. That hey, you're you're going to get a look at both guys here, and it's not going to be completely obvious who's the starter and who's the backup in that situation.
Yeah, you nailed that. I mean, we're all like taking notes, like, all right, looks like Zen's a little ahead of Tegra. Oh, wait, maybe not. Yeah, they're throwing us off.
Yeah.
All right, who do you think is gonna? I'm just asking. We're just going through some. Again, we're gonna finish with some quarterback recruiting. I know we have some comments about Air Noland, and don't worry, guys, we're gonna get to them. But who do you think is gonna lead the Buckeyes in sacks this year?
I'm going with Jack Sawyer. Hey, back-to-back years, Dave. Back-to-back years. I just think that, with him playing out of position last year, leading them in sacks, I think that was kind of a telltale sign that, hey, let this guy do what he does best, which is put his hand in the dirt, go get the quarterback. I do think that JT's going to command a lot more attention. A lot of teams are going to be looking at him to believe it like, hey, he's the one that we need a key on. But with that being said, I just think that Jack being back at his natural position, being able to rep there with the ones all year round, all through spring ball and fall camp, I think is going to bode well for him. So I'm banking on Jack Sawyer. Now, the question for you, Davis, do you think whoever the leading sack master is for Ohio State, you think they can get up to the double digits? Because it's been years since we had someone at Ohio State to have double digit sacks.
Chase Young had to be the last one, right?
Right.
And he had well over. I think that was the school record. He had like 16 and a half or something like that. Broke the school record. If I had to bet, I'll take the under. You give me the if the over under is 9.5 for the leading sack getter for the Buckeyes this year, I'll take the under. Just hope I'm wrong. I'll go with Tuimoloau. I think it's going to be close between Sawyer and Tuimoloau, and I think Mike Hall is going to be in the mix too. Even though he's a D tackle, he's just so disruptive. We saw the game last year where he only had like 8 snaps and still had like 2.5 sacks and a tackle for loss or something like that. So that guy can stay healthy as quick as he is. Yeah, but he's not going to get double-digit sacks. So I'll say Tuimoloau will lead the team in sacks with 9. How about that? Go specific on you. I got to say this. So we got a chance yesterday after practice. We didn't get to see practice yesterday, but we got a chance to meet with a bunch of the defensive backs, including defensive backs coach Tim Walton and safeties coach Perry Eliano. Telling you guys, Davison Igbinosun is so impressive. It was fun finally getting a chance to meet him. The Ole Miss transfer was a starter as a true freshman at Ole Miss, freshman All-American. This kid is 6'2", 187. It was so nice getting a chance to meet him. He's very impressive on and off the field. I encourage anybody. You can get on the Bucknuts. You can get on my Twitter feed, our YouTube page. We have our video with Davison Igbinosun. I know other outlets had the interview as well, so you can just get on YouTube and watch it if you want to. This kid is so impressive. He's wanted to be a Buckeye his whole life. He was talking about guys like Jeff Okudah and Denzel Ward. Get excited about Davison Igbinosun. I expect big things out of this young man. He seems special to me, Jay Book.
I'm excited, Dave. I mean, the one thing that I take from him, the short time that he's been here, is he just seems like he's cut from a different cloth than the defensive backs that have been in the program. He brings that Jersey toughness. He has the experience from playing in the SEC. It kind of, opened my eyes a little bit, raised my eyebrows when he said the transition to Ohio State, it's been pretty easy for me. You usually hear Ohio State is a tough place to adjust to. Especially the strength and conditioning program and how they, push their players in practice. But for a kid to come in here and say, hey, it's been pretty easy, and he's going out there and he's performing at a high level. The coaches are raving about him, saying that he's special. And Jim Knowles talking about he's a tough dude, brings that Jersey toughness. So to me, I think this is an absolute gem. I can't see a situation where he's not the starting corner this year, Dave. At minimum, with his size at 6'2", he can be an inside slot type of nickel corner, because I know that is something they're experimenting with, is trying to get a third corner on the field in passing situations.
Yeah, I'm very high on him, and Jordan Hancock, it's a good problem to have if Jordan Hancock ends up being the third corner. Because I agree. I don't think Davison Igbinosun is going to be the third corner. I think he's going to find his way in the starting lineup. And Denzel Burke looks great, so I think Jordan Hancock's probably going to be the number 3 right now. To be clear, Hancock's running with the 1s, Igbinosun running with the 2s. But it's early in spring, and Igbinosun's a transfer, so I fully expect him to be a starter. But if Jordan Hancock is your number 3 corner and he's healthy, now a year older, that's a luxury. And I also like Jair Brown a lot. He gets lost in the shuffle. We got a chance to talk with him yesterday. He's impressive. If he's your number 4 corner, that's a good situation to be in. We also got to meet with the safeties yesterday. Talk about spring depth chart. So right now at safety, Josh Proctor is running with the 1s at adjuster. Kye Stokes is his backup. Again, this is just spring. This isn't like they're saying this is going to be how it's going to be for the season. At the bandit, Lathan Ransom is running with the 1s. Sonny Styles is running with the 2s. All right. In the slot, Cam Martinez running with the 1s. Jihad Carter running with the 2s. I think Lathan Ransom might hold on to his job, but I I think they got to move Sonny Styles around. They got to find a way to. You and I talk about this all the time. And even the coaches talk about it. So I
Yeah.
do think they're going to find a role for Sonny Styles. I really do. A big. We saw him play against Georgia a lot. So, but right now he's running with the twos. What do you make of the whole situation at safety?
It's frustrating to me, Dave. I'm just going to be completely honest. I'm reading reports this morning from the Alabama site talking about how Caleb Downs is getting reps with the ones. And here you have Sonny Styles, our own 5-star, who's a freak of nature, getting reps behind an older upperclassman who's probably has hit their ceiling right now, has been in the program forever. We know what we're going to get from him. Get Sonny Styles on the field. Get him as many reps with the first team as possible. Like, why can Georgia, who had 6 true freshmen playing on their national championship defense, and a place like Alabama, who's clearly not afraid to play their true freshmen, how can they get their kids ready straight out of high school? But at a place like Ohio State, who's Sonny Styles, who enrolled early, CJ Hicks, who enrolled early, we can't get our 5-stars to be repping with the ones yet. I just don't get it. I don't understand the logic behind taking reps from these younger guys in place of these veterans who we know what we're going to get from them. Like, give me Sonny Styles on the field, find a way to utilize him. I know they've been talking, it's like, yeah, he's going to play, we're going to figure out how to utilize him. Come on, man, the time is now. If they're going to make a mistake, the mistake needs to happen right now in the spring when the games don't matter. Like, let them go out there and learn how to perform at a high level at Ohio State. Getting those first team reps, like, it's going to accelerate their development. Like, if Caleb Downs can go into Alabama, Dave, and get first team reps just like that, there's no reason why our younger 5-star guys can't go in there and get first team reps. Like, sorry for my rant. It's just frustrating. Like, you see other, like, we're trying to compare ourselves to Alabama and Georgia, other national title contenders. Like, how come they can get their true freshman 18-year-old guys ready to play off the snap of a finger, where it's taken us a much longer process? Like, I understand you don't want to give kids something to say, hey, you need to go out there and earn it. But at the end of the day, are we playing talent or are we playing the seniority game?
Yeah, don't apologize. I was about ready to say amen to your rant. Well, definitely don't apologize for what you said. You were on the money there. All right, let's, as promised, let's talk some quarterback recruiting. Now, Air Noland will visit Ohio State this weekend. He still doesn't have an offer, but that's not surprising. Ryan Day's not going to offer a quarterback until he sees him throw in person. So it looks like Jaden Davis is going to commit to Michigan today. Talk about that a little bit. And then, do you think the Buckeyes should offer Air Noland? Do you think they will? Just get into quarterback recruiting if you would.
Yeah, I think the Davis kid, he's obviously going to be headed to Michigan. You know, if there was a change of the tide there, you'd have been seeing the crystal balls and stuff flipping. I just think that Ohio State, with the Dylan Raiola debacle, got in a little too late. I think the bridge was already burned once they chose Dylan Raiola over him. So now that that kid's going to be headed over to Michigan, I think you have to put the full court press on Air Noland, Dave. You got to get an elite quarterback. I will say this, and I will say it till I'm blue in the face. As long as Ryan Day is here at Ohio State, quarterback recruiting and quarterback development, that is arguably the least worrisome position on the football team. You know you're going to get production from your quarterback. You know you're going to be able to find someone with the transfer portal the way it is right now. Who knows? There may be a kid that just absolutely tears it up this year in college football and finds out, hey, I want to transfer to Ohio State and compete for a job. You just never know. But as far as Air Noland, I mean, if he's your plan C guy, Dave, you're talking about the number 8, quarterback in the country, because to the 24/7 composite, 24/7 has him as the number 7. It would be odd seeing a lefty there, but I think he has all the tools. Tall kid, 6'3", can run, still needs to be developed, but make no mistake, if he can get into Ohio State's system with Corey Dennis, Ryan Day, I do think he's a heck of a prospect to bring in, especially if it turns out that he's going to be your plan C guy. But he's a talent. I mean, it's a testament to Ohio State that you're in the hunt for 3 different quarterbacks who are at the top 10 of position in the entire country in high school.
Yeah, as we talked about in your spaces, I'll never worry about quarterback recruiting as long as Ryan Day's here. I'll never worry about wide receiver recruiting as long as Brian Hartline's here. What do you make of Jaden Davis going to Michigan? I mean, it's not a big surprise at this point if it happens.
Yeah.
Sounds like it will later today. What do you make of that?
He's going to go up there and hand the ball off 45 times a game. That's what I make of it. I mean, Jim Harbaugh hasn't shown the chops to develop quarterbacks. He's going to go up there to a power run game, hand the ball off 45 times, whereas he had an opportunity to go play at Ohio State, be developed by Ryan Day, who's putting first-round quarterbacks into the NFL. He will have the opportunity to play with some of the best wide receivers in all of high school football. You look at Michigan, they don't have one wide receiver that will crack the top 4 at Ohio State right now. So I just think that he really trusts Jim Harbaugh to develop him. Whatever they're selling him, hey, hats off to you. You got the kid. But overall, I'm not worried about it because he's going to go up there and hand the ball off, more so than he's going to be developed as a passing quarterback.
Quick question here. OH, Buckeye Baby, IO. If Nolan commits, does Devin Brown transfer? I don't think that'll affect Devin Brown. I think even if Devin Brown, in my opinion, even if Ryan Day announces Kyle McCord's the leader leaving spring, which I don't think he will, I still don't think Devin Brown would transfer. But I don't think Air Noland affects Devin Brown at all. What he knows they're going to get a quarterback in the 2024 class.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it affect them at all. I mean, it's Ohio State. They have been blatantly open with everybody. Anybody who's listened, they said they're going to go get a quarterback every single class. So they don't play that. Hey, I'm going to recruit a quarterback. I'm not going to take a quarterback the next class. Like that's not how they operate at Ohio State.
Great stuff as always from Jonah Booker. I'll let you get back in your house and deal with all the chaos that's going on inside your house. The beautiful setting in your what is
Backyard.
it? Your backyard,
Yeah.
your back patio. I love the setting there in Arizona. Thank you for getting up early and doing this. He is Jonah Booker. Thank you very much to Jay Book. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Hope everyone has a great day and a great weekend.